DFC, Don's Fight Club
Yes.
podcast.
Yes, finally, we're here.
It's Paolo and Gully, man.
Listen.
Gully.
Yes, my bro.
The first episode of the
Listen.
podcast starting 2025, right? Yeah, bro, how you feeling? This is
Listen,
big.
I'm actually excited still. I mean, like, DFC's come a long way, bro, man. And it's only
You've
right.
been there from the start, so you know.
True. Yeah, man. It's only right, man. It's only right. It's a
what-
big look.
This is what I'm saying to you,
It's
man.
a big look.
Even since DFC 6, which we've just gone,
Yeah.
that's just gone, the social media and everything else afterwards, and the attraction that the page had, we're up to 5. But I had written down 5.2 million. I checked this morning, we're up to 5.6 views and everything else
Flipping
on the
heck.
page
And this is since.
since DFC 6.
Flipping heck.
That alone, and then obviously bearing in mind we've done 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Of course.
I've got to ask you as well, because you have been there from the start.
yeah.
How mad is it to see DFC from the start to now? Because let's be honest, you are Gully
It's like-
DFC.
It's mental. No, it's mental still. Like, originally, it seemed to me that it was more centered around the football players from the Dons team
Yeah,
kind of having what might have been perceived as novelty fights,
yeah,
not necessarily genuine pursuit of boxing, but more just interesting side quest
yeah,
sort of thing. But then after like a couple, you realise, no, this is actually like becoming like a fully fledged league almost. You know what I'm saying? And obviously it's changed venues a few times,
yeah,
which has given it a different complexion. You know, like it doesn't feel the same in Catford Theatre how it feels in Ballin,
yeah.
Maidstone. And then even there was another place, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Whoever was at DFC 1, you remember the one in Kent. It was nice though. It was really nice, the one in Kent. But they've
That
all,
was that was all standing, innit? Was that all
it
standing?
was, yeah. It was, yeah. But they've all had different feels. But you've just seen gradually the support grow each time,
Yeah.
the professionalism level up each time, the presentation of it, bro. Like even down to the little details, like the uniforms, the ring girls, just everything, you know. Each time I've just seen it just a bit more polished, and so
Yeah.
it's just wicked to see, bro, man.
That's what I'm saying to you, man.
Wicked,
Like,
bro, man.
obviously, DFC 6 was done. It was a massive success.
Yeah, man.
And you know, we're talking in terms of just the turnout for the fighters, the turnout of the fans, the exposure all the fighters got as well from that, which is something that I like to see. And like, you know, when they put in all the work in terms of getting in the ring,
Of course.
and they get the exposure afterwards, and everyone's winning. Do you know what I mean? We saw our first female fight on DFC 6, which become Fight of the Night. So it got given Fight of the Night.
Sick.
Big up to Rosie Eyes and Adriana. I don't want to butcher this in it, but it's Adriana Kalia. I'm gonna say that's her name.
Yeah.
If I apologise if I've got that wrong.
Yeah.
But
It was him who got it wrong.
allow
If it is wrong,
allow it.
take it up with Paolo. Because I don't need that kind of smoke. I don't need it.
Yeah, they both their first boxing match that was, which people didn't realise. In terms of one of them had been training before, the other it was their first sort of, I suppose, experience in terms of a camp of boxing. But both of them, that was their first boxing bout because they were struggling to get matched
Right.
and get fights, which
Okay.
is why they didn't. So Rosie and Adriana got matched on this. You know, obviously we're going to get Lee cooking in a minute, and I'll ask him. But you know, he said it to me on the night. You know, he kind of got out because this was before his main card fight. He was watching the fight. Like everyone was watching the fight. Do you see what I'm saying? Like we was all like locked in. It was a proper the skill level of boxing as well is what impressed me. The movement and everything else that they were showing, considering it was their first fight, that was the most impressive thing for me. And rightly so, it got given Fight of the Night. I think it's always good to remember that we didn't give it Fight of the Night because we wanted it. I think collectively as a venue, everyone said it without saying it. Does that make sense? So, you know, big up to them as well. And as I said, one more thing I want to mention, but like Marlon Gillett nearly turned it into a Royal Rumble.
Do you need to give that a quick recap before we?
Yeah. Marlon's first fight on DFC. Obviously, he comes over from BXGP. He's a BXGP light heavyweight champion. We're talking. There's no other way to explain it. Like, he punched him, he fell out the ring, and he's like, I mean, you've all seen the clip. It's mad, but he brought an entertainment factor to the show. There's another big, a big name from Kent. Obviously, you've got Lee, you've got Marlon. Two big names to have on the same card. You know what I mean? For me, anyway, I felt so it was good and it felt like probably a home fight for both of them.
Sick.
Where a lot of their fans are probably in or around that area. They got to travel into South London to do it or what. So. The feel of a Sunday as well. Like, a lot of people say Sunday shows don't work, but I feel like it did. People turned up, man.
Well, we got the champ here today, so I'm interested to hear how he feels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and before we get him in, exchange of obviously Marlon now is looking towards a light heavyweight title shot. This exchange of belts because Alexander Gatti, the Albanian monster, beat K-Dan in a very technical fight.
Some people say that he shocked the world. I don't think he shocked the world.
But both good fighters, so they visit that. But, Gully, why we're here today, man?
One second, by the way. Yeah, 1 second. This is how you know it's the first episode, yeah? Follow DFC official _ on the gram. Follow.
Yeah.
And Don's Fight Club on YouTube. Follow. Subscribe. Like and share.
We're keeping that in, you know.
From episode 2.
I'm keeping that in.
We're going to do that at the beginning.
I'm keeping it in.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm keeping it in. I'm not taking it out.
That's right.
That is hilarious.
8 minutes in.
That's hilarious. We're keeping it in.
What you were saying.
Yeah. We're keeping that in still. You know that, Gully? Oh, that is funny. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? I'll tell you what we're doing. We've got none other than himself. He was the baddest heavyweight in Kent.
Baddest man in Kent.
But he's now the baddest heavyweight in the world.
Listen.
That's what some are saying.
Listen, I'm going to tell, we had a chat before, we're going to get to it when he comes on, actually. Because I got a plan for him. I've got a suggestion.
You got a suggestion?
If it works, I need 5%. I've got a suggestion, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, none other. Lee Cook.
Yes. Round of applause for Lee Cook, man. This is the champ, man. What, Paolo? No respect for the champ. No,
I've got to get. I'm trying to make sure the space is there for him to get past. I've got to move for him, so I'm just trying to clear
Lee,
the way.
He's not respecting it.
Hey,
Lee
knows I respect.
Come on, man.
But I'm saying to you, Gully, I've got to clear the way for the big man to get in.
No, I hear it.
I'm laying the red carpet out.
Smooth.
You clap. I will lay the red carpet out.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Fair.
Lee Cook.
Yes.
How you been?
Come on, man. I'm good. It's been a good Christmas.
Yep.
It's been it's been fun. It's been fun, and the journey it's been even funner. So I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
Gully, what a man!
Listen, bro, congratulations on the journey so far. Congratulations on all you've achieved, man. Obviously, I've seen the journey, at least as it pertains to DFC, and I just want to congratulate you first of all, man, because I've seen the journey, I've seen the work, and you definitely stand on business, and the whole moniker of baddest man in Kent is not to be taken lightly. So I commend you, bro.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Real talk.
You're a very, very gentleman-like person outside the ring, but when you get into the ring, you turn it into a monster. You turn into a very angry individual who's in there to do
damage.
Do you know what I mean? But outside of the ring, you don't look like you got a bad bone in your body, Lee. But I've got to start it by saying DFC 6. You've just, because let's not forget, he's not only the baddest heavyweight in Kent, he's a heavyweight champion.
This is what I'm saying.
He's
the creme de la creme.
You're at the top of everyone's hit list. Everyone, anyone that wants to fight you. But we can get to that. But what I'm trying to say to you is, how are you feeling after DFC 6? And you had a tough fight against Lyndon Coombs, but you got the victory. You're the champion now. How does it feel with all the hard work? Because I know as well, you said the camp wasn't easy. You had a lot going on. So how is it to come out of all of that and then to, lift the title and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, man, I was buzzing. I was buzzing for weeks. Like, as you see, we was doing little interviews and I had the belt in the background. Like, where in my house, like, the belt's in a position where anyone walks through that front door, they're seeing my belt. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was a good, proud moment for me. As you say, I've worked hard. I've obviously been about a DFC for a while. But previously, like, I've been in and around this sport for years. And I've put some serious work and graft in. And, yeah, all for sort of to get where I am now. Yeah, but also a lot for myself, to prove a lot to myself, to prove a lot to others. Like, with this baddest heavyweight in Kent and that, like, I'm not silly. I had a lot of people there, like, going, "Oh, what do you mean baddest heavyweight in Kent?" Like, you give me fighters. You give me a fighter that we match a fight up that turns up on that night and gives me a fight, because it don't happen no more. And there's a reason it don't happen no more. People see what I put into it. I don't portray to be the best fighter out there. I know I'm not. I'm not the best heavyweight unlicensed fighter out there, but I promise you now, any man that gets put in front of me will have a problem on that night. And they know that. And that's why we find it hard to get opponents, because exactly that reason. So, yeah, I can only do what I can do. And, yeah, big up Lyndon, man, for him stepping in, because, look, he had, like, obviously I know Lyndon, me and Lyndon are friends, and everyone going, "Oh, baddest heavyweight in Kent, I'll lead this, I'll lead that." And then he's like, "Yeah, I'll take the fight." Like, bruv, you've got to give commiseration. Like, fair play to him. Like, he done well to step up to that. And he put me in deep water a few times in that fight. Sorry, he put me in deep water a few times in that fight. So,
yeah. He's fighting in February, though.
Yeah,
February I'm gonna get this right. February the 15th, I think it is. He's fighting in Burton, hometown.
Oh,
homecoming.
Good on him.
Yeah, so big up to him. But yeah, he did put you in deep waters.
Was it? I was gonna say, obviously you just mentioned about Linda stepping in. Was it a bit odd that you guys had maybe done a bit of fight preparation with the mindset that you obviously have different opponents lined up, and then ended up in the ring together? Was it a bit weird looking back on it, thinking almost like, well, look at us, we might have done a bit of training together, thinking that we're training for other people, but really, we were training for each other.
Yeah, do you know what? Like, with what Paolo just said a minute ago, like, and I know that Lyndon felt the same way, so, like, there's never no bad blood there. Like, I've got a lot of respect and love for Lyndon as I have for a lot of other people, but the aim of the game is when that bell goes, like, I want to hurt you, I want to finish you, I want to be the champion. Sure. And me going in there thinking, I don't want to hurt him, feeling sorry for him, I don't want that, and I don't want him to feel like that against me. I want him to come in there to hurt me. Yeah. But then as soon as that final bell goes, we're back to, if not more respect for each other than we had before, which it definitely went that way. But yeah, it was obviously like I think the only like difficulty sort of side of it was like me and him being like around each other on the fight night and that, and like obviously we were still like oddly chatting and that, but you could sort of sense that little sank in the air. We're just about to go and stand and punch each other in the face. Do you know what I mean?
Literally.
So there was that little bit of aspects of it. But yeah, in terms of the fight itself, no, I just see it as any other fight. I went in there and I had a job to do, and that's what I went in there and done.
It's interesting as well, because if I talk to you even about, you and Lyndon, and I know we spoke a little bit about this on the live, but now we've got you here on the first DFC podcast of the year. Make sure you go like, share, and subscribe. You just got to chuck it in sometimes.
Oh, bro, listen.
Official DFC _.
That's the one. Wait, no.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, official DFC _.
So it's not DFC official?
No, Instagram.
We'll work it out.
It's one of them anyway.
It's all right, because I'm sure the editor, whoever that is, graphics will come up. It will come up at the bottom.
It will come up.
Bling.
But I got to ask you as well. You went on a 10K run with Lyndon 4 weeks before that fight. Bear in mind at that time, you two didn't know you was going to fight. You both had different opponents lined up. What happened. You get a phone call. fight Lyndon. Lyndon gets a phone call, you want to fight Lee, you both take it. You're now immersed in like main card. Lyndon's on main card. So he's gone from being sort of on the undercard to the main card fighting for the DFC heavyweight title. Deservedly as well, because I feel like he's been on
Three,
yeah, so I'm saying most of the shows. So it was good to see that he got a shot at the title. Lee's obviously worked hard for the title shot, as we know. How was that element of it at first? Was there any like sort of doubts, even fighting, like going like, now I'm going to fight Lyndon? Was it difficult at first because he was your friend, or was it a thing of you kind of was able to put that in the back of your mind, quick, focus, train, get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, as I say, so we done the 10K run. We actually put a little thing together. Like, there's no denying it. Me and Lyndon, we're both big boys.
Yeah.
So we sort of said to each other, like, we've been friends and chatting on social media for a while. Like, let's prove to like the big boys that watch us, like, we're both active people, that it can be done. So we actually planned the route from Catford, which is where we last both fought at, to the Beaverwood, which we both fought at before, and it was exactly 10K the run that we done. So yeah, we done that in obviously just to show and try and inspire a few other people, which it worked, because I actually had a few messages from people showing me that their runs that they'd got out to get it and start the runs as well. So that was a great feeling. But yeah, in terms of the fight, as I say, when you become friends with certain people within this, like if you don't want to become friends with anyone, then that's on you. But with me, like, I'm a friendly person. I like making new friends. I'm a social person. So you've always got that in the back of your mind when you're becoming friends with a heavyweight that, you know, Lyndon's been a part of the DFC journey, etc. That there is that chance there that it might happen. It was never spoken about between the two of us, but obviously, like somewhere along the line, it could happen. Like that was always there. So when it come up, as I say, it wasn't a case of, Lyndon's my pal. It's a case of, like, that's the fight I've been offered. That's the fight I'll take. I won't turn down any fight. And that's not me trying to be a big man or what. You as promoters go, there's this guy. Like, the only person that would turn down a fight is my coach. My coach will be the one that go, hold on a minute, no. Like, me personally,
careful your hands on the thing.
Me personally, I won't. Like, I'll take the fight. So yeah, it was It wasn't hard, let's just say that. I'm not saying it was easy, but it wasn't hard to sort of agree to take that fight.
Gully, I've got to ask you as well, bro. You've seen some big heavyweight fights on DFC in the past. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, because you're in the Power for Power rankings now as well. But you've seen some big heavyweight fights in the past in terms of just on DFC. Naturally, in boxing, I feel like heavyweight boxing always takes precedence over a lot of divisions just because of the size of the men, what dangers come with the fight. But for you, do you think that obviously as well, watching or seeing that Lee's lifted this title, how far has that heavyweight boxing scene for DFC come as well? Because I've got to ask you that because you've been there from the start. You've seen so many people on that in the heavyweight division.
It has, because originally, looking back on it now, it does actually seem like that the marquee bouts or marquee fights, whatever, they just happened to more be the smaller fighters. It just, maybe it just happened to be that way, sort of thing. Where you know, like we had originally, you had like SK, a couple others. Obviously, you had Big Dog at DFC 1, obviously, you know.
Never forget that video.
Super heavyweight.
Big Dog, man. Big Dog.
Big Dog. You know
never forget that video.
Leaning on Benny Joseph in DFC 1. Do you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, like the main event that night, I believe was, okay, don't shoot me. I believe it was S. Yeah. And then he got called out at the end of the fight by one take and that. Yeah, so basically what I realised was, I know my bad. Sure.
This is
You're gonna get a fine.
I'm gonna fine him. So you know we're gonna do fines, red cards, yellow card. God.
I realised, right, that like gradually the heavyweight fight started taking more precedence on the card. I noticed that over a few events. So especially when you had, for example, like where you had like Big G.
Triple H. How can you
yeah.
forget that entrance?
Innit? I was gonna say, Lee, at Beaverwood, right? Did you fight Tarek? Oh
yeah.
my flipping days!
Yeah.
That fight there, that was like a death match, bro.
There ain't many unlicensed heavyweight boxing fights like that. That was
I remember that fight.
From the off.
I was gonna say that fight in terms of the heavyweight fight so far. That's probably my most memorable heavyweight bout thus far in all the DFCs.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to see that we've got a heavyweight champ, because obviously, like, the light heavyweight champ came first.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like me, I'm always rooting for the bigger guys, because I'm a big guy. Like, I root for the big guys as well. And I'm just really happy with where it's at, bro, to be honest with you. Like, you know, it's getting the spotlight. We got some heavy hitters. Got a sick champion right now. And yeah, man.
It's gotten massive now. I mean, like, let's honourable shout out to Louis as well, who is matchmaking all these fights. Like, he's the guy for matchmaking. You know, we put in a lot of work into DFC 6, but not just DFC 6, but, you know, I come in at DFC 5 to help out with all the media and stuff, but let's not take it away from Flips as well, what he's done.
For sure.
Because, like, bro, like, you've got to remember, I think as well, do you know what's mad? I think you could agree with this as well. Like, Dons purely as only known for SE Dons in the past. And now it's getting to a point where DFC is becoming its own entity, which is what I think collectively George, Flips, Donny, they all wanted. Everyone involved wanted it. That's doing it itself. These shows are just getting bigger. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of the positive I think, like, you've got to take out of it as well. Don's Fight Club is Don's Fight Club, not it's part of SE Dons. That's the main thing. But, you know, can't take away the work that obviously Donny and George put in as well. All the media they're doing on the night, the 1,500 stories you lot see up on DFC on the night, because that just goes mental.
Yeah, only 1,500. I thought it was more.
Bro, I'm telling you, man.
Flood the block.
Yeah, but that page is carnage on the night. Like, everything's just up. Everything.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are logged into it, and I don't know how many people are putting stories up, but there's a lot.
Do you notice a bit more engagement on your social network profiles around fight time?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I had an okay social media following anyway, but ever since becoming a part of DFC, I've definitely gained a lot more people from the boxing aspect of things. And yeah, like, it's all love. Like, it's no hate. Like, obviously, there was probably somewhere out there.
Well, you get one egghead just talking. It always happens, man.
It always happens.
So, but I don't pay attention to that. Like, I'm not somebody that will argue with you on social media. If you got a problem and you want to sort it out, like, man, let's go sort it out.
Come meet me, bro.
Come turn up.
Meet me in Kent.
Come to the Vikings den.
Do you know what I'm saying? But can I just go back, obviously, speaking about Big G and that, I've got a good little story about, like, Big G. So when I fought Tarek, like, we become quite close in that after. And we agreed to do a bit of sparring. Well, I think Big G had his title fight coming up. So he was like, yeah, go on. So we've gone in there, we're all sparring, and it was literally the last round was me against Big G. And we was going at it. And then the last 10 seconds come and we stood in the middle and we both swung. Well, he caught me in the eye. And I actually had to have 11 stitches over my eye from how it opened up within that spar. And that just goes to show what sort of man he is. Like, he's a serious guy, trust me. Like, when he punches you, you know he punches you. But yeah, it was good fun.
Gee, we gotta go over to you for your comments, man.
Is G one and done, or
that's what he's saying?
Is he one and done?
That's what he's saying.
I hope not.
I hope not, but that's what he's saying, man.
The family man now.
Yeah, he's a family man.
He's a family man now,
and he's back in goal for the Dons as well.
There you go.
So I don't know. He's just had, I think he had surgery on his hand, didn't it? So, like, he's back now in goal. I don't think we're going to see him in the boxing ring again.
Maybe, like, let's just look like hashtag Big G for DFC 12.
DFC, what's DFC 10 is the big one.
Yeah.
I think because it's a like, obviously you get to 10, right?
Agreed.
I think we need to see everyone on that one. Everyone.
Agreed.
Flips, Donny, George,
Doug, all of them.
Lee, everyone.
SK.
SK.
No, not all. Probably not SK now.
No.
Probably not now.
No,
Everyone
no.
else, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone else on DFC 10 plus the growing stable of fighters, it's just going to be 20. I reckon you'd have to do about 20 fights.
Be sick though.
It'd be sick.
Be sick though.
Yeah, like I said, we are just, like I said, we just do the podcast. We don't make the decisions. We just let you know, Louis. You know what I mean?
You know?
But giving him extra work. Yeah, go on.
I wanted to ask you about fight camp, you know, because at the end of the day, you like, despite being a fighter, you're still a man as well, and it's like, I wonder sometimes what it's like to have to do a fight camp which is so intensive, so disciplined, but at the same time you got real life to manage. You might have stress outside of the fight in your personal life, whatever, like ups, downs. How do you manage it, bro?
Yeah, like on a real, like it can be real tough, real tough. But then when you get to positions like I have with lifting the belt, like it's worth it. But yeah, the fight camps, like for people that follow me on social media, know I'm just a normal man. Like I work a normal job. I work a 10-hour day job. I'm up early doors to start working. But what I do is I'm up at 4 o'clock if I need to be to go to the gym if I can't make it that night. I'm up at 4 o'clock to go out running if I can't make it that night. And I put everything into my fight camps. I don't drink. I don't go out. I literally train, rest. And yes, it's because I know what needs to be done, but it's also what I love. Like, it puts me in such a good headspace with the journey. Yes, you're right. It can be very, very stressful. Especially like because let's be honest, we, as fighters, we all know it don't always go our way in terms of even through camp, you get sick. You go in, you have a couple bad spars, you get a little niggle. Like the injuries I've had throughout camp, like honestly, have put me in a bad mental state. And being sick as well, like even on the last one, I was unwell about 4 or 5 weeks before the fight, and it ripped me off bad for about a week and a half.
Yeah, I remember I was speaking, to be fair.
And again, like that's not something that's going to make me not fight, but it is a setback, but it's part of the journey. And all you got to do is you got to get yourself up, you got to dust yourself off, and you got to get back in there, and you got to put in extra work to get back to where you was. So yeah, the fight camps, they're tough, but I love them. Honestly. Like the good path it takes me on down in my life. Everything just falls into place. Like I'm more productive in my home life, in my work life. Like it's so good. And what is also very, very good to have is I've got such a supportive girlfriend. Like when we've just bought our first house together, but before that, like I'd go weeks without seeing her because I'd be training every night, and then she'll be working or I'll be working. And like that's the sort of extents that it goes to. Like we was going like 2 weeks without seeing each other at times because of training camp and things like that. So I know it's still at an unlicensed level, but that doesn't mean you haven't got to put the work in. Because if you don't put that work in, you get found out. Yeah.
I got to ask you as well. Like we're talking on training camps. Yeah. Let's be honest. Yeah, because I don't know many people that I know that don't anyway, Gully. I don't know about you, but food, man. That's a big thing in training, isn't it? Like the refueling and stuff. How hard? Because you always ask them. I like asking fighters this question, but how hard is the actual dieting during camp? Because it's such a big thing. But I'm not talking about the odd chocolate bar or a burger and chips. Even with certain foods that you think you can eat, you can't. There's that as well, isn't it? It's like it's mad. But like, how do you find that? Because you're training for what, weeks on end. Is that hard, or do you just find it easy? And
do you know what? It is hard, but I've got it easy with that. In terms of where I work, I've got like a lunch place where does all nice healthy meals, so it's there for me. Then when I get home, I've got a girlfriend that's an unbelievable cook. She'll cook me nice, good, healthy meals. Yeah. So like I've got it there on a tee.
Lee's.
We got Lee's missus, man. We got Lee's.
What's her name?
Jess.
Big up Jess.
That's underrated, bro.
Yeah. No, so
that's a woman that's holding you down.
Big up.
But all that being said, I do love my food, and yeah, like in terms of, I had with exactly what you just said, the chocolate bars, the crisps and that. Like, I'm not sitting there saying I cut all that out because I don't. Like, I say I'm lucky. I'm a heavyweight. I haven't got to so much
you got
watch,
cut mad weight,
yeah,
but you still want to get the best out of your
100%.
training and stuff, and the refueling is the most important part.
100%. But if I sit there and I'm craving a chocolate, I'll have a chocolate bar. But
Straight.
I won't have 3 chocolate bars like I would if I wasn't in camp. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, there's that sort of go with it. But yeah, with the food prep and everything, and it's so true what they say. Like the last 2 weeks, I have eaten anything and everything inside.
Yeah.
And I feel sluggish. I'm tired. Because I promised myself 2 weeks off over Christmas from training from work. So I've had a couple of weeks off. And I'm ready to go back because I'm so like sluggish and tired. And when I'm eating well and I'm training, all right, you're fatigued every now and again, but your energy levels are up here.
What because that's another thing as well. When you talk about the food, the training, and all that, it all kind of taps into mental health, innit? And obviously, we spoke before. Even the first time I ever spoke to you, you spoke very openly about mental health. That aspect of it as well. How much has fighting changed the way that you wire your brain to think as well? And not just fighting, but training, keeping fit. I suppose a part of it be the refueling in it, but more the training and the boxing since you started fighting, because you also do or have done K1 in it. Yeah. So that's where you kind of started, and then but that was through mental health, right? And that's why I want to give an honourable shout out to your friend you mentioned before.
Yeah, it's a big shout out. I'll touch on the story. So when I was about 18, 19, I'd never even thought about fighting, going into a gym. And I had a friend at work that we become really good friends with, and he kept on and on at me, oh, come to the gym. And I was like, nah, man, like, I ain't. He's like, no, please. But anyway, one time I said, you know what, let's go. And I promise you now, it was the best decision I ever made. So we went in there, and it was actually MMA I started doing, mixed martial arts. Yeah. So rolling around, and within 6 weeks, me and him took our first fights, and I was hooked. Like we both carried on training together, etc., etc. Then obviously a few years passed. He done his thing, I done my thing. We were still friends. We still spoke, like we were still close and that. And then unfortunately, he took his life. So it was a tough one for me. For someone that helped a massive journey in my life for my mental health, because that's the main reason. Apart from that's the main reason why I do my training, my fighting. It's not all of this. It's not all of the belts. Like the main important thing is my mental health. When I am in training camp, when I am fighting, the path I'm on is so much better, and my head is so much more. See so much straighter. Then when I'm not, like I'm wayward, I start going off a little bit, and my head starts messing me up again. So I have to get back to it. And it's just such a big part within the fighting, what it does for me and why I do it, because it just keeps me on that good path. Yeah, man. That's an honourable shout out to your friend as well, man. Because that ain't an easy thing, bro, Gully. I'm sure you could.
100%, bro. I mean, like I've obviously on my own platforms and whatnot, like I've touched on mental health as well, in like based on my own personal experiences and stuff. So I personally do fully resonate with what you're saying. And even though I'm obviously in no camp, I'm not fighting anybody, I do understand the just like being active, you know what I'm saying? Being active, being committed, being disciplined. Yeah, man. And being productive. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think sometimes thoughts are powerful things, bro. And sometimes they can get the better of you. Yeah, thoughts could alter your feeling, I think your body, everything. You tell yourself something's hurting, that's gonna hurt. That's that's what I believe anyway. Do you know what I mean? But thought is a powerful thing. So I feel as if you're not the first person to say it as well, in terms of what boxing or what certain aspects of it does for your mental health. Like as I'm the same as you, bro. Like I've got to keep productive, doing things like this, things like, you know what I mean, different things that I could like challenge my brain with. Be it go for a walk, like just anything. Go like, but sit. You're right. Like it's a massive thing. But I wanted to mention it because you look at the journey of where you are now and look where you started. Yeah. And to be fair, if you'd asked yourself when you started, you're at where you are now. Sponsorships. Look at him. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Listen, we got to big up. At some point, we got to big up the brands. But would you? My kind of question is like, would you have like that 19 year old self?
do you think you would have been able to tell yourself then that this is where you're going to be now? House, girlfriend, everything.
Belt.
Do you know what? Like, there's so much more to touch on, but maybe we can do that another time with stuff with life, etc. I'll be real. Like, I've had a good life. Like, I'm so lucky. I've got good parents. I've got good family. I've got great friends. And but that doesn't always mean that you still go down the right roads. You make the right decisions and that. And I made some bad decisions back then, back around that time. And I'll be real. If you would have said I am where I am now, I'd have laughed at you.
Yeah.
Like, I'd have laughed at you, and I'd have said no chance. Like, and even to buy my first house and that, like, even 5 years ago, I'd have laughed at you about that. But I've done it, and I actually sat there about a month ago, and like, I felt so proud of myself, like, so proud of how far I've come. Like, I'm still not perfect. Who is perfect? But
if you're perfect, then
no,
boy, you got nothing to work on. That, I know.
But to where I've come from then is crazy, and I only see more and more coming, and it just makes me hungrier and hungrier. And as I say, I do this for myself, but I like to do it for other people. I like to inspire other people. I like to encourage other people, because I know what it's like to be in them deep, dark, horrible places where you just think, there ain't no way out, and you just sort of accept it.
Yeah.
But I didn't accept it. I found something that I could help me get through them stages, and and I did, and this is where I am right now. Like, this is still just a start.
Yeah, that's a big thing, Gully, man.
I was gonna say, I think a lot of men sometimes feel like they can't speak up on certain things, or they don't want to, maybe concerned with how it will come across, how they'll look, all that sort of thing. I just think it's important, like, that men just encourage each other. You can talk, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? If you got, if you got a good friend or a good relative, have a safe space, and or good missus. Do you know what I'm saying? Just have someone who's a safe space to talk to. Because
I'm so, with all of that being said, and exactly what you just said, like, I work in a predominantly male industry. There's females as well, but predominant males. And, I'm actually a mental health ambassador for my work company, and that's all voluntary. I've done that all volunteering. Like, I don't get paid no extra for it, and I literally do it for the fact of what you just said. Like, I want to encourage more men out there, like, that get rid of this stigma and that. Like, if you're struggling, like, it's okay to struggle. Obviously it's not okay, but it's okay to feel like you're struggling. It's okay to talk about that you're struggling. It's okay to speak to someone, because I promise you, like, all right, I'm not saying that everyone will be able to solve your problem, but a problem shared is a problem halved.
That's it, man.
And that person might be able to help you. Like, I've took calls from certain people and that from the work thing and that, and I've had people say to me, they're like, "You're the last person I would have ever thought that would, like, be like that." And I'm like, brother, like, I'm a real person, like, I'm a normal person. Like, just because I do all this fighting and you see all this social media, like, I've got a heart. Like, I've got one of the biggest hearts you'll ever see. Trust me. Like, I care for people. I care about how people feel, and I just want everyone to feel good and okay, because I know what it's like to be down.
Do you know what? It's glad you say that, because it goes back to what we said. I know we spoke about this in the car, but when I spoke to you when you was in the car, but you remember what I said to you, like, judging people by judging books by their covers, right? And like obviously not, they haven't done it in a horrible way, but they've thought, I can't go to Lee because he's macho, tough, boxer, fighter, K1. And it was the same thing. And if I relate it back, it was the same thing on the night. And that's why I have to give another shout out to your opponent on the night, because there was a lot of people writing Lyndon off because judging a book by its cover. And I feel like DFC, like what DFC brings, and like in terms of everything else, in terms of the fights and everything else, I think we are the market leaders at bringing good fights. We're not sticking anyone in there that's just there to, do you know what I mean? Like, Lyndon was there to fight. Do you know what I mean? So as I only wanted to lead that point, I've got to give him a shout out for that, because I don't think he gets enough credit sometimes for what he does. And I'm just glad that I got to witness that fight, because it was mad.
100%. I was going to say, it's interesting because you'll see this ties into yourself, because some fighters in DFC like come with more people power than others, right? Some fighters come and they'll literally just come with their mates or their family, and that'll be it. Whereas if you're Lee Cook, It's kind of a different kettle of fish, really.
Lee Cook,
especially Beaverwood. Leverwood.
Yeah.
Beaverwood was Leverwood.
I'm pretty sure I sold like a quarter of that venue out, to be honest with you. And that was my first DFC show, so I was the away fighter. Like, it was crazy.
I remember, I just had a list of names, right? So I'm just like doing like a little bit of hosting to get us to the next segment or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, who's here for... Yeah, literally just like, yeah, so we've got Lee Cook later. I said, oh shit.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Place erupted.
But I was going to say, you're the baddest man in Kent, for real. That's Lidge, yeah? But you've moved house. So, so hold on. So you moved house. I need to know, right? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because is everyone still going to turn out for you? Are you still repping Kent?
Oh, yeah, I conquered Kent. And I'm still there for Kent if anyone wants it. But I'm coming for Essex, man.
Okay.
And then when Essex is done, we was talking earlier. I'll go to Birmingham. Let's go Birmingham. We're going
one by
next.
one. So who's the baddest man in Essex, though?
I know the baddest man in Birmingham is.
You do?
I think it might be Tommy Hench. Is it Birmingham? He's from Birmingham, isn't he?
He's up that area. He's
Tommy
definitely up there.
Tough fighter, man.
He's definitely
Tough
up there
fighter.
with the top north.
Essex, I don't know though. Essex, I don't know.
They're pushing. It looks like Big John's son.
Oh, Johnny Fisher.
Jesus, let's slow down. Let's slow down a little bit right now.
No,
hey, but if he wants it, let's go.
But like I'm talking. Let's talk about the scene that you're on. Yeah, that's a question for the viewers, man. Who is the baddest boxer in Essex? Because he's got one crown, he wants another one.
Bro,
that I'm saying.
Whoever it is, we need them at DFC.
Baddest heavyweight boxer in Essex. Reach out to us.
And anywhere else.
Else.
He's gonna plant the flag. Wherever you are, he's coming to plant the flag.
That's it. It's like when man went. Well, do you know? No, I'm not gonna say it. No, I will say it. I was gonna say when man went to the moon, but you know, some people believe it, some people don't. But if you do believe it, when man went to the moon and they put the flag down, that's Lee. He's conquering.
100%.
The
man said he conquered Kent. He said it with chest as well. Conquered Kent, man.
That's because that's the thing as well. Like you've come such a long way. I know we haven't got long left, but you've come a long way. You're at where you're at now, and I suppose it's good to end on this. But what's next? What do you want next? Like I'm just gonna ask you.
Fair question.
Like what do you want next? I know you're on the Lee Cook. Like we've got polite Lee Cook now, and I know Lee Cook doesn't do the trash talking thing. But I have to ask you. You are heavyweight champion. You need to tell us what do you want next.
I ain't gonna say too much, but there's a little sank in the line of a little old someone from a previous fight that started piping up. So this is looking like what it could be for the next one for me, but that's gonna be a minor. So once that's out of the way, I just want
minor, you know.
I just want someone that brings it. Like I want a tough opponent that wants to stand in the middle of that ring, and let's give the crowd what they want. Like let's put on an absolute bloodbath. Like I'm a little bit weird. Like I come out of fights, and if I ain't marked up and nose over here, like I ain't happy.
That's not a man you want to fight.
I want that. I want that. I've actually still got to have a surgery on my nose. I broke my nose quite badly in a fight I had in them 4-ounce gloves. And I've got to have a surgery because it's like one of my nasal passages is like closed up from a bone like blocking it. So, but they basically told me if I get that done and then carry on boxing, I'm probably gonna have a boxer's nose. So that's to the back for the minute. That can wait until I've finished my journey.
Well, okay, you can't just. We're gonna finish a bit, but you can't boil over what you just said. You said that you've got a little someone that's minor. So what you fought before, as you won.
Yeah. So, easy round in one round.
And that's potentially what's kind of in the pipeline without saying too much. Which is fine.
Like, I want to leave that obviously down to Phil and to do all of his announcements. So I'm not going to be on here shouting it out. But yeah, look, this was a long time ago. So this guy, don't get me wrong, like he's a big tough guy. So if he's been training, yeah, he might last 2 rounds.
I love it. Either way, he's getting chefed up. Chefed up by the chef.
That's what I'm saying to you, man. That's a Lee Cook we needed there. I know Lee Cook don't do the trash talking thing. He don't.
No.
So it's hard to get that out of him. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah. No, but this is. I feel like we're entering. I think we're entering an era now of just like humble boxing champions, bro. I just do all my talking in the ring. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Unless
Like Usyk, for example, he's not really very mouthy. Not really.
no, he's
You know.
yeah. They're how do you put it? They're I feel like it's a lot of the American fighters. Do you know that?
Very braggadocious.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah.
I'll give you that. British boxing. I
Depends who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because you could put a few in that bracket in terms of the heavyweights, but I think majority of the British fighters are all right, to be fair. In terms of like, we talk about the pro level, innit? I don't think any of them have that. So you're right. I don't think it's a thing. I think though you do probably see it more at a licensed level or semi-professional level, however or whatever you want to call it, because there's various names for it. But because everyone's building their social media up, so. Like, I'm not saying Lee Cook does this, but Lee, I'll just use an example, Lee calling somebody out on social media, all his lot might get behind him and that might push it.
Facts.
All of the person he's calling might get behind it. They might start getting in the comments or replying.
Facts.
So, I mean, we had it with Marlon on the live and Alessandro Gatti. We was doing the live. Their people are arguing in the comments.
I was watching it. I was laughing. Oh yeah.
So like you've got Albanians arguing against Marlon's people. It's mental. Your boy, like I think Marlon's partner was in the comments. Like it was mad.
Yeah.
And then his part, and
personal.
Alessandro, I think he's got a partner. She was in the comments.
And they were smoking.
Yeah.
He gets personal.
Yeah, it gets personal, but like, I think this is good. This is a level.
The trash talking definitely builds a fight, but I'm not a fake person, and that ain't me. So I can't be fake and start all this this and this to people. Like, if you want it, let's have it. Simple, straight.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we shake hands like gentlemen, and we carry on about our lives. Like, I'm not about someone that's going to start dissing someone or cutting someone over the internet. As I said, like I'm a man. Like if I've got a problem with someone, I sort it out like men, not write to each other over the internet for everyone else to see and laugh about.
Lee, man. Lee. So what Lee's saying to you, and it's good to end on, Gally, is just turn up, show up, and tell him.
100%.
Exactly that. Can I just do a quick shout out to
Go
my
on.
sponsors?
Yeah, bro.
Go on, man.
Without my sponsors,
you do what you want. You are the heavyweight champion. I ain't stopping you.
No, without my sponsors, man, they look after me. Like again, still at a low level. Like they help me out. They pay for my training costs, which ain't cheap. They pay for my fight kits, where I always look fly in my fight kits.
You do look fly.
Yeah.
You do look, no, bro. You do look fly.
I appreciate
you do
that,
look
man.
fly. Like he's fly.
Yeah, no. Shout out AK Barbers, Bonnie Rocks, the Tan House, Extra Mile, North Kent Scaffolding, Bagsy Maintenance, and SRB Plant Hire. Then also shout out to the two gyms that I train at, which is Body Shots and Evolution Combat Academy.
Listen, big up, 100%.
Hey, Cully.
Can I say, just before we wrap it up, I think it would be good to get like a top 5, perhaps.
Yes.
I think that's something maybe we might do, like when we have fighters on, like maybe like a top 5 of all time, perhaps.
Yeah.
From the division that they fight in.
Yeah.
So maybe like your top 5 heavyweights, maybe
Favorite
of all
fighters.
time.
It could be your favorite fighters. You ain't got to be anyone. Like, it's not going to be in order. It's just your 5
no
favorite
order, no
fighters.
pressure.
I'm trying to think if I know 5 heavyweight fighters.
No, even pros.
Tyson Fury's like, I know obviously that's an easy thing, but my main thing with him is because of his journey.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like,
Relatable.
And then Joshua again. Like I'm a basic person. Like I just love boxing. Like I'm not someone that watches boxing for a certain people. But Joshua, Dubois. Then who was that other lad we was just on about?
Moses,
yeah, man, he's dangerous.
He's the truth.
And then also Johnny Fisher. Not like I see like a me and a Johnny Fisher, not from standard wise, but from like the people person, everyone behind Jar, everyone like back shot. You know what I mean?
We get Johnny Fisher and Lee Cook having a Chinese together. Let's make it happen.
Yeah,
Johnny, come on.
Nah, that'd be quality. To be fair, I've got a few things I'd like to ask him and a few tips, but no.
Yeah.
That's probably my top 5. But as I say, it's very basic. I know. I'm a boxing lover. Like I watch boxing. I don't care if it's wherever. Like I'll go to a lot of unlicensed shows, but I just love watching boxing. So like knowing like top fighters, etc.
Yeah.
It's not really my thing.
Nah, but it's not everyone's thing, man. It's not everyone's thing. Beterbiev doesn't watch boxing. Beterbiev is an undisputed light heavyweight champion. He doesn't watch boxing. He doesn't watch boxing. He just fights. Like, do you see what I'm saying? So he's very like. I understand that. He said the other day, they said, "What's your favourite fighters?" He goes, "Brother, I don't really watch boxing like you guys." Like that's what he said. Like he said it.
That's cheeky.
That's cheeky, isn't it?
That's
like
cheeky.
you could be that good and not watch it as well. By the way, that's the cheeky part.
That's really cheeky.
Listen, Lee, you are the first guest on DFC's Don's Fight Club podcast.
For real, for real.
For real, the first one. It's this historic moment.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me. And if you want to follow my journey, Lee_Cook29 on Instagram.
Yep.
I'm a friendly person. If you need any advice with anything, I'm not the best, but yeah.
Gully, shout him out, man.
He's so humble, bro.
He's too humble.
So humble, man. Big up, listen, man. Big up Lee Cook. Big up Lee for coming down. Big up the champ. Big up the positive energy. Big up Jess. And 2025. Any New Year's resolutions, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna run a marathon.
Ah, fair enough. That's
Sick.
A marathon and 1% better every day. So when we do another one next year, I'll be 365% better.
Yay! There we go. There we go, man.
That's the guy right there.
Listen, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the socials.
Yeah, man. I trust it to you, tell it to know what they are, because I just made a picture of it.
Links are going to be there.
100%.
Social media names, official DFC, Don's Fight Club or DFC or Don's Fight Club on YouTube as well.
Yep.
Make sure you subscribe to that. Follow us on Instagram. All the links obviously will be in the bio, obviously, of the episode, where you can follow us as well. I've been Gully. This is sorry.
That's all right. That's all right, Gully. I've been Paolo.
Do you know what? I've been Paolo. It's the first one. It's the first one, isn't it?
No, I love it.
I've been Paolo.
I've been Gully.
This has been Lee Cook.
Yes.
Or have I been Lee Cook? I don't know. Listen, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be back with another episode again soon.
We're going to get there.